Okay, as we enter a whole new week in trade, let's take a look at the global cues from last night. Now, Dow futures were down around 58 points or 0.2%, but they've also caught up a fair bit in the last half an hour alone. S&P and Nasdaq futures were also down around 0.2 and 0.4% earlier on this morning. Now, in terms of what's happened this year, because this is our real first week of trading in the new year, both the Dow and S&P have closed at record highs on Thursday. Unprecedented fiscal and monetary support, which has continued, has helped the market fly to all-time highs. So if you actually look at the YTD gains for the Dow, S&P and Nasdaq, the Dow and S&P actually had a year where they advanced 7.3% for the Dow, 16.3% for the S&P, and 43.6% for the Nasdaq, making it its biggest one-year gain for the benchmark in history. And of course, it's also severely outperformed the other two benchmarks. Now, Asian stocks this morning are trading a bit mixed. We say mixed because we were waiting for cues out of Korea, which hadn't really come yet. The market's opening slightly late over there this morning at 10 a.m. However, if we look at Japan, the Nikkei's dipped fractionally in early trade. The Topix has also shed 0.31% in early trade. Stocks in Australia, however, have risen, with the S&P ASX 200 up around 0.86%. So if you look at Asia collectively this morning, there's no clear trend visible among the Asia Pacific stocks. Now, let's just also give you a recap of what happened with Europe last week. Europe shares posted a 3.8% loss for 2020. FTSE had the worst year since 2008. So YTD, the Stoxx 600 index, closed down around 3.8%. However, it was up nearly 11% this quarter. The FTSE was down 14% YTD, making it its worst year since 2008. Meanwhile, the French CAC was down 7% and German DAX was up just to 3.5%, and Italy's FTSE MIB was down 5.4%. So the worst performing market in the region has been Spain's IBEX, down almost 15% this year. So that's how the European markets have fared if we look at a year-end kind of situation for them. Let's also do our quick commodity check for you on oil and gold. Oil prices, of course, are still down 20% in 2020 amid unprecedented demand loss from COVID. Talking about how they finished last week, on the last day of trading for 2020, Brent fell 49 cents or 1% to $51.14 per barrel. US WTI settled 12 cents or 0.25% higher at $48.52 per barrel. Brent was hence on track to fall 22.5% for the year, while WTI was due to drop 21.4% for this year. Finally, looking at gold, which tends to act as a hedge to equities, it's had a great year. It was on track for its best year in a decade. In terms of what happened on the last day of trading of 2020, spot gold was flat at $1,893 per ounce, but was up 24% for this year, its best since 2010. And then US gold futures were up 0.3% to $1,899 per ounce, their best year in a decade as well.